Hello, hello. We are back again.
Yes.
Not sure if anyone's in the chat today, but that's okay, because I'm sure we'll find things to talk about, as we always do. For those of you who are watching the replay, we are talking about Archangel's Consort by Nalini Singh, which is the third book in the Guild Hunter series, and sort of the end of the first 3-book arc in the series following Elena and Raphael. And we have mixed feelings on the book today, which is always good for a discussion. Hello. Alrighty. Shay is on her way, but she is running late and will join us when she gets here, and I will do my very, very best to pay attention to make sure that I add her in a timely fashion. And if I hurriedly mute myself, or if I forget to, it's probably because I'm having a coughing fit, and I apologize in advance. I was just saying before,
Tis the
I'm going to keep my mouse.
I don't know what your reason is.
It shouldn't be, because we're finally getting warmer weather. So I think the general consensus, all my tests, so for those of you who don't know, I've had something. I don't know what it is. It involves some kind of chest infection that has come back negative on all of my test results. So yay for allergies and asthma is pretty much what we're going with. So I'm on all the fun medication.
Obviously something wrong. So if you could actually figure out what it is, that would be better than just you're fine.
Look, I'm very happy that it came back not pneumonia of any kind. Like, that was the one thing that I was probably more worried about. Like, I could have handled COVID, I could have handled flu or whatever, like, as long as it's not pneumonia. But it wasn't any of those things. So we are here with mystery illness. So if my voice disappears as well at some point, that would be why. But I have like 3 different kinds of drinks over here, so hopefully I will survive. Thank you. This is me on the tail end of it now. This is like a week and a bit later, so we're getting somewhere.
Right.
And like, on that note, I did read this book right as I got sick, so I'm very curious to see how I go.
You're delirious.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, I don't think I realized quite how delirious I was when I read it, because last weekend was wild. Like, I look back on it and go, what were you thinking? But anyway, seems to be the story of my life this year, so we roll with it.
What else can you do?
Yeah. Who knows? Alrighty, so we were just talking before. Megan and I have both read this book before. This was Megan's last book that she read before she stopped the series. Heather's first time reading it. And I am the first to admit that, because I've read that much Nalini Singh, I'm so used to the writing style, and also I read this a couple of years ago. So it's in my head, I think I have a different contextual feeling about the book. But yes.
Well, she's very beloved, so I wouldn't say that you're even in the minority of that. Yeah. A lot of people love her series. So.
Yeah. Oh, we have a Shay. Hello, Shay.
Work emergencies had me late, but I'm here.
Not that
late. We are glad you're here.
Not bad.
Yeah.
But still late. I don't like I was reading.
We haven't even started talking about the books yet, so.
Yeah, we haven't even started yet. Really, Steph is introing us now.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Steph is just being long-winded because she hasn't talked to anyone for like 24 hours. So
fair.
Like, verbally spoken to anyone.
Listen, if they're here, they should be appreciative.
Yeah.
But yes, like I enjoyed coming back to this book, although I'm probably in the minority of the series where I don't always love when we spend multiple books with Elena and Raphael. I love them as a couple, but I quite like it when we're jumping around with different couples and then coming back rather than having big chunks of books. But that's just me personally. It's not a criticism. It's just a personal quirk. So I feel like this one is well timed for needing a change after this story, because I think we've got a lot of world building across the first 3 books. But
I would definitely agree with that. And I agree that long stretches with the same couple and the same kind of problems gets boring really fast.
Yeah, them having the same problems is my main issue. Because
I feel like we just keep circling around with the same problems with them. So I'm ready to like have another couple for a minute.
I'm like annoyed, I guess, with the way the problem is being handled, because it feels like constant ultimatums where it's like, if you cross this line, that's going to be it for us. But also, I'll fight any and every supernatural power and the madness of your own mind and all that. I'm not letting you go. But also, don't cross this line or we're over. And that happens.
I think, I was going to say, I think we got a lot of that. I think we talked in the last live show, like there was a lot of like pushing back against each other's expectations of what the other person would do. And it made sense because there is a very big power imbalance between Elena and Raphael. Yeah. But it felt like we kept coming back through the same thing. Whereas like probably book 2 and 3 could have been condensed. At least the personal plot could have been condensed into one story for them.
Absolutely.
Whereas the world building thing with Kellyanne and sort of how Archangels awaken and things like that, it like is important to have at this point, because I'd forgotten that took place as early as it did. But you've got that alongside all of the personal stuff that's happening, which I feel like we could manage some of that and then weave it through the other books. But
well, and it's also very possible that would be a thing that she would have done if she already knew where the series was going and what she was going to do with it. But because she was starting it and, wasn't popular yet and all that stuff, it was, just one of those things.
I think we're ready for a change.
And
what else?
Look, if I could get 3 books with Luke and Sasha, I'd much prefer that to 3 books to these people.
But even then,
like other people and couples that I find interesting, that I'm ready for somebody else to take the spotlight for a bit.
Yeah. The one thing I think she does do fairly well later on in this series is that we circle back, but we're always circling back in a way that's moving the major plot forward.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell this is sort of the first foray into kind of this format really for her. And it's reading very much urban fantasy, whereas I think later it switches more paranormal romance in terms of the way that the pacing happens. And that's fine. Like I don't have an issue with that. Yeah. And I said, not a criticism, just an observation coming back to the series, because I did feel like there was a lot going on.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, I feel like this is Nalini Singh's version of trying to do like a Magic Bites, Alona Andrews kind of thing, which I don't know that that's necessarily her strength, at least early on in the series. It might change for me later. But right now, I do prefer Side Changeling to this series by a significant amount. Same. I'm invested enough in the macro plot, like the bigger plot, to keep going at this point. But I'm ready for a couple change. That's for sure.
I think besides the ultimatums, my biggest annoyance with the couple was her like pushing against the bodyguards. I just felt like that was really immature and premature, because it feels like you obviously know a lot is happening right now, and a lot is happening focused on violence against you all. So like, and you keep admitting that like you are not a match for all of these foes. You weren't even a match. No shade, but you were a match for the public of New York on the street. Like, what are we talking about right now? You should have a bodyguard. And I think that it would have been a lot more mature to talk about it with the idea of, hey, I get it. I'm new. Things are very much, in a time of upheaval right now. I just want your promise that this is not going to be a forever situation. At some point when I feel like I'm ready, I think we need to reevaluate, and then I would like not to be shadowed all the time. I would have respected that so much more than just stop giving me bodyguards. This is so annoying.
Well, especially I feel like because I mean, and I understand from her from her character development, she would find that stifling because she's used to being very independent. Like that's fair enough. You are going to push back on that initially, but having the conversation and also recognizing that the bodyguards that you're being given are the bodyguards you get along with as well.
And the
That's true.
bodyguards to me didn't feel very overbearing. Like half the time they're like flying in the sky half a mile up above you. Like,
I think
they're there as backup. They're not walking in front of you,
they
stopping
really
you
were
from
not,
living your life.
just because we've read so many other romances. It's like there's a lot of romances where the bodyguard's with you all the time. This felt like very non-invasive, and like you said, he was choosing people that she didn't mind. And again, this is
might have been like throwing her own pity party, because she was also really upset that she couldn't do her own guild hunter job because she was no longer like at that skill level anymore.
But I don't know. I understand that is the nature of everyone, that to want to be able to do what you're trying to do, but it just felt like, I don't know. It felt really like she was trying to write a character that was a warrior woman that would grow to be his equal, that would push back against him and be hyper independent, almost to the detriment where it was like, I don't know, like he can't the only thing he finds hot about you cannot be the fact that you stand up to him. And also I kept telling myself, like, Heather, this one was written so long ago. So many of the main characters and relationships and paranormal romances you've read similar to this were actually written after the fact. Like, this is a precursor. So the fact that you've read a bunch of it should not be the author's problem. When she was writing it, it was not necessarily every other book. But for me, it really is just kind of like, I've read this one before and I've read it better and I'm not happy.
I love this rationalizing with yourself.
Like, you cannot be this critical. You've got to. But
well, and I think that's the thing, because it is one of the series that was, there at the sort of the start of the paranormal romance sort of long running series kind of era of books. There was one before that, and then there was kind of this boom that was in the 20 teens sort of era, and they're all really similar in terms of the archetypes of the characters that they have. And I think from memory later on, like, she eases off on that a little bit, but again, it's the tropes of that particular style of paranormal romance. Mm-hmm. And would we say we'd like different things now? Yes, but also I've certainly read worse. So
absolutely.
Oh, what have we got? Yeah, so there's a lot of things happening here, and I think I've talked about it. Like, I love an angel paranormal romance, and I still think this one does angels better than most of them do angels in terms of
absolutely.
Taking it and
the way the angels are crafted and stuff is fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah. Particularly,
and again, I like the politics
no religious
of
component
too. That's very, very interesting to me.
I do too. I do like the politics.
I do like that it's not like a religious angel. I agree.
Yeah,
that's usually why I'm like, I don't like angel romances, because it's a lot of like virtue and sin, and this is just like a different look at vampirism.
Well, I feel like if you're going to go the religious angel route, you have to be willing to actually dig into what angels are in religion, which is not as clean cut as you would like it to be. You can't go
exactly.
To
you have to commit to the bit. Ground. You either do the angels with all the eyes, or you do the kind of angels.
The angels with all of the eyes.
Biblically accurate angels. Biblically accurate angels. I can't word. I've had a very long day.
Yeah. Whereas this, I think, like, this is just its own thing. Like, this is angels, but this is angels in a completely new crafted world that is which is political, and is a take on vampirism, which I think that's a really cool matchup of the series. Is that like the way that it's gone. Because I think like I the one thing I have a real issue with, and this is me with my visualization, is I have a massive problem visualizing the expanse of how the angels rule the world, even though I know the places. Like I feel like I need to have a map with me every time I read the book and going, hang on, where are we now? Because all of the angels are spread out. So I just don't visually, like most of the time I just ignore it and go, okay, that they're in charge of some place over there. That's fine. But I do probably need to actually visualize it at some point.
Wait, where? What?
Plushie.
Plushie? Plushie? I don't know.
Comfortable plushies.
Con?
This is Ryan. And
fun plushies.
We're all confused.
Plushie break.
And this is Cece. So this is Ryan the lion from Cacao Friends. So he might be similar to Con.
Yeah.
And then this is just a Squishmallow that I got from Spouse as a gift. That's why I was like, wait, what?
Let's appreciate it.
Looks like Con.
He's just sitting there being creepy staring.
Yeah. Actually, coming back to that whole idea of politics, I think this is something that Nalini Singh does very, very well across both her big series, is she does have the politics of her worlds really well fleshed out, whether it's the angels and the vampires and the human world in this series, or the Psy, the humans and the changelings. And there's a difference in the way that both the political systems work in both books, which I think politics is one of the hardest things to get right in any kind of book series, because you have to feel like it's real. And you could totally see this happening in
absolutely.
As
like
well.
The politics of this legitimately feel real life. And it's kind of spooky because how long ago was this written? And it feels like our current political climate in a different way.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad that you've picked up Psy Changeling. I feel like if you like more of sort of the current days paranormal romance, Psy Changeling is probably a better fit than Guild Hunters in terms of, even when Slave to Sensation came out, it still feels a little bit further along.
Also, don't give up on the Faith book. Just power through it. The rest are great.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I didn't really hit a book I disliked in that series. I enjoyed most all of them.
I think the
book
I disliked,
I enjoyed less. But...
Yeah.
I think the one I disliked was the one with the cringy, like, Latin lover looking cover. I can't remember.
I can't remember which. I don't have those covers, so I can never remember which ones are which.
That's true. You have the cool covers. You have the ones I'm
Give me a moment. I will discover this.
Okay. While we do that, I will say, this book, I legitimately, because I read it before, but I read it like many, many years ago. I thought that they killed Raphael's mom in this book.
That's hilarious.
Like, I was like, oh yeah, like Elena, like, somehow was able to, like, escape and kill her, and then, like, the ending of the book came and I went, how did I remember this whole thing so wrong?
You must have just expected them to kill her.
It's Branded by Fire, right, Megan? That's the right one that we're thinking. Let me share my screen.
I love this random tangent we're on.
This one?
No, I don't think it's that one.
It's not that one?
No. Do I own it? Is it up here somewhere?
Anyway. While they're
talking while I
change language. My issue wasn't. I remember that Kellyanne wasn't killed, but
was it Hostage to Pleasure?
That one sounds right. It might be that one.
Again, right. I have my screen still ready. Stuff. Is it this one?
Is it there?
This one.
No, it doesn't look like that one either. Okay, wait. Let me go through.
There's also this version of it.
No, it's neither of those. Where is it?
Okay, then you're on your own, friend.
That's fine. That's fine. Continue talking, guys. I'm just going on a tear in my brain.
Anyway, what was I saying? I can't even remember what I was saying. Oh no, I just didn't remember that Kellyanne woke up this early because she gets her own sort of major subplot later on as well. I'm like,
oh,
hang
does
on.
she? Ooh, that makes me happy.
I think she does, or at least there's something that's going on. Because like,
does Daddy wake up too?
No, Daddy's dead.
He's
Okay, I
dead.
thought Daddy.
He's
was
dead.
He's dead.
I had thought so.
No, because the other story that we get is Ilium's mother. She gets a story as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It's Tangle of Need.
Oh Lord, I've never seen that cover of it.
Yeah. And also I don't this is probably my least favorite book in that whole series. That's my tangent. I don't like it.
Yeah. But like the
Glad we
the thing
figured
that
that
I
out.
like was, yeah, I know we would have, kept going until we figured that out. The
hyperfixation is real.
The whole idea of understanding or finding out sort of why archangels go to sleep and what happens when they wake, like that part. I mean, the natural disasters bit is a bit much. I mean, do we really need to destroy the world just because you're waking up? But
I know, right?
I mean, but also knowing that Liwan is a big part of that and is still interfering with everyone. I'm like,
seriously, like she just needs to be done and move on. Like clearly she's
can't-
not happy with
I
her
guess
life.
she can't die, right?
She's the big bad for a big bad for
A big bad. She's an interesting big bad though, because like sometimes she helps.
Yeah. In a very disturbing way.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fun.
She helps in the creepy auntie you don't want to help you kind of way.
Yeah. Also, I'm sorry, I did not take my ADHD meds today because we had a lot going on at work. It looks like your flip is a pickle with hands. And I know it's not, but every time you turn stuff, I'm like, is that a pickle with hands?
It's my frog.
Oh, it's cute.
Froggy Glippy. So cute.
That's so cute.
I did have the fairy bread one in before, but no, this was because I didn't want to brush my hair this morning when I went to the shops, so I literally just put it up in a clip. I haven't done anything with it since.
I took a shower, which is why mine is up, because if not, it would just look like a rat's nest of just wet hair.
I had to have mine back for work, so I just haven't put it down because it needs to be washed.
Yeah. Liwan is such an interesting character. And I've literally forgotten how her, like, I know what happens to her arc, but I've forgotten how it progresses across multiple books. So now I'm rereading just to revisit that because it's wild.
I thought that Jeffrey, that's the dad's name, right?
Mm.
I thought that Jeffrey was like, I knew that it was he was the hunter bloodline. I thought that he had like actually been a hunter or like had like the powers and ignored them. So I thought that he was the reason that Slater attacked them. So apparently my brain just rewrote that entire book. Going through,
that's what happens when you don't read something for a while. Well, see, I'd forgotten that it was Jeffrey's bloodline, and then I got mad because I got mad at Jeffrey again.
Well, I'm mad at Jeffrey for the first time, and I want to. Ugh.
Yeah, but I did
like that it gave her the opportunity to reconnect with her sisters, and that her stepmom was actually.
I do like that the stepmom isn't a bad stepmom. She was clearly obeying what her husband wanted, but she reached a point where she's like, "Nope, my kid's more important. I'm drawing the line."
Well, I think she also like when they remarried, she was the other two were pretty like almost adult or like teenagers, so she probably assumed that Elena was what Jeffrey said she was because he had like basically disowned her already, and she didn't try.
Well, yeah.
But I do love, I think it was it Eve who was like, I thought you were bad and that's why you never came around, but really
Yeah. I hated that.
Essentially it's just like Jeffrey sucks.
Yep, he does, and he has to learn pretty quickly, I think, in future books. But I mean,
I look forward to this humble pie he has to eat.
Well, I feel like now that we know that Elena is going to outlive everyone, essentially, like it throws into question, like there was even that little subplot of her sister trying to get her to make her into a vampire and whatnot, which again, I found that part I found increasingly annoying.
I do feel like it's bad for Elena that she has to deal with that. Because like she can't tell her sister, well, the reason is because you'd go insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like having that relationship develop between the sisters and Beth, I feel like Beth needs to grow up. I mean, I think a lot of these characters need to grow up and be adults, but also recognize that your husband made a decision without checking to see how that would impact you. So that says more about your husband than it does about anybody else in your life. And maybe check your feelings and what you say to people before you say anything.
Well, and then when she like threw it in her face and she's like, well, you brought him back. It's like, girl, he signed a contract. I did my job. Like, I didn't hurt him. I was just like, hey, homie, you signed a contract.
Yeah. The problem with that is that people always expect to be the exception to the rule. It just is the natural thing.
Yeah. It's like if he didn't want to accept the consequences of his actions and the impact that it has on you, you got to have that conversation. And rightly so. Like, if Beth is in that state where she's being rejected from being made into a vampire, her husband's going to live forever. She's annoyed at her sister because her sister did something that meant that maybe they could have lived a different life. Us knowing that was never going to happen. Fine, she can be annoyed and angry and irrational, but at some point you've got to take ownership over your own part in this. Glad we can make people feel validated today. But no, I found that scene really, really frustrating because it's like, well, you're finally back in our family's life, so I'm going to say my bit and try and get you to do what I want. After basically having nothing to do with
my husband. He turned in himself because he was the one who did stupid crap.
Oh no, what is this? The consequences to my actions?
Heaven forbid there be consequences. Gasp.
Yeah.
Yes, I had to say gasp.
On the...
I also just feel so bad for Elena because it's like her dad is like, I'm going to talk to you because I want you to like pour yourself out to give me power. And then her sister is like, I'm going to talk to you because I want you to like overrule your man, i.e. pour yourself out again to give me the thing I want from these people with power. And it's like, why can't y'all just be like nice to your family? I don't know.
Yeah, like, and there's an interesting contrast, I think, then with when Elena asks about whether or not they becoming a vampire would help Vivek with his mobility, because I think it's interesting to say, okay, she's asking a question. She's not trying to overrule anyone. She's not trying to go behind anyone's back. She has a genuine curiosity as to whether vampirism will actually reverse significant damage to the body. And she wants to find that out before she even makes the potential offer for someone that she knows. So she's going in with all the facts, which you'd like to go, okay, maybe everyone else should be asking a few more questions.
Right?
Before they jump into things.
And by the way,
I do also love
the way she brought all of that up really just warmed my heart. That was one of my favorite parts of the book, because it's like, we meet this person. She truly cares deeply about them and considers them family. But like respects that they want to kind of hide away and be by themselves, but she just wants to give them a little more freedom. It's not that she's trying to change who they are, essentially. They're just trying to give them options. And I love that.
Yeah.
I also like that Raphael was very much like, here's why they would not change someone who is originally disabled, even though it could heal them. But I will support you and help like with this if you choose to do it.
Yeah. I mean, part of that is also knowing what an asset Vivek would be actually to the Angels. So for whatever length of time his contract is, he would be a really valuable part of the team as well. So there's like the two sides of it. There's the friendship and I want to see if there's something we can do to make your life better, more comfortable, something that you can reach towards, as well as also there is a value in this on the flip side for us as well.
I do hope that the Cajun and the Hunter have a book or at least a side story, because it's so funny.
There is a side story.
Okay, good.
There is I can't remember where it is, but someone will tell me in the chat, but there is a side story.
So I was like, the Cajun and the Hunter are so funny together, like just like the random, like, all right, I'm back. I'm going to rest for a little bit. And it's like, hey, you got to go see the Cajun again in this terrible location. And she's like, I hate my life.
They just pop up in so many different stories. It's so funny. I mean, in that regard, like there are a lot of really interesting little side characters and things like that. I think pretty sure there's some side stories with Sarah and Deacon as well.
I love them.
I know, they're so lovely, and they're clearly Ellie's family, which we like. I'm trying to remember if there was anything else that I had made a note of. What I need to get better at is actually sitting down with a notebook and making notes as I'm reading.
I do like that point in the chat.
Yeah. Yes. I know it's a nice contrast in terms of the different types of characters that we're meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Nalini Singh's newsletter is great because there's always little short stories and bonus scenes and things like that she's emailing out. What was I going to say? Oh, I continue to love every interaction between Elena and Venom.
Oh yeah,
I'd forgotten how much I loved Venom until the second book. I'm like, just give me all of their scenes because they like the snarky banter is just giving me life.
I do love them together. Was it this book that Elena just like straight up threw a knife at Dimitri because she got tired of him teasing her?
Yeah,
I love that too.
Yeah,
she's just like, I'm sick of you, pa.
And I mean, we're slowly being introduced to all of the other Angel or the other members of the Seven. Like Aiden was in this one a lot more than in the previous book.
Something to look forward to.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. I should have my cheat sheet, but it's been so long since I've read this series.
No worries.
And also Elena's relationship with Ransom and as well.
Yes.
He's such a fun character. And also the scene between Ransom and Venom. And then, was it Ransom and Venom?
Is it?
Venom was flying the helicopter and Ransom.
Yes.
Well, there were, yeah. Now I'm hoping I'm not mixing up my books now. Now you've got me now I'm questioning whether it's this book or the previous.
Well, there was a helicopter when they were taking care of the vampires.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But then he was unconscious because of the motorcycle accident because of the earthquake.
Yeah. Nazir is also awesome. Yeah, was that or was the earthquake? It was the earthquake. Because there was a lot happening in that scene. I had a bit of trouble keeping track, but that could have just been, as mentioned, me just vaguely hallucinating most of my Saturday last weekend. Hello.
Hello.
Is that right?
But yeah, no, I think the different positioning of Elena's relationship with the different members of the Seven in this book is really interesting, particularly since we're about to switch into Dimitri's book for book 4 as well, because Dimitri wasn't in this book as much this time around. You got a lot more with.
He was going to have a romance with the girl that got changed by the Archangel that he's watching over, but he's not, because I read the synopsis and it seems like
I mixed that up. That could be Venom. That could be Venom's story.
Well, it's Dimitri that's watching over her, though, and talking about how he might have to kill her. And he even said in this book, he said she's in a stable relationship, but I might still have to kill her. So I just expected it would be him with her,
yeah, that's what I thought.
It's not.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for you to read about Nazir. Nazir, I love Nazir so much. Yes, Holly. I swore it was Holly and Dimitri, but it's not. Again, I haven't read this book series in a while, so it's like reading it for the first time again, and then going, "Hang on, you mixed everything up in your head. Well done."
And we already discussed that apparently I just changed this whole book in my brain. So
I'm trying to remember any other specifics that I wanted to bring up.
I feel like this one is a lot of just establishing like where Elena and Raphael's relationship is now. I mean, there's a lot on her, like her flight training and being able to fight with wings and things like that, which is good. I mean, we got to revisit what was the little angel's name from the previous book?
Sam.
Boy Sam.
Sam. So getting to sort of
check in on where Sam. I love him.
Oh, he's so precious.
He deserves the world.
Yeah. And then sort of this Archangel's waking up. One thing I like, we were talking about the politics earlier. One thing I find really interesting is that even Raphael's friends, or the people he's closest to on the cadre, he doesn't consider them friends. Like, he doesn't consider them close. They're the people that I would trust not to completely backstab me at the moment. And really, that's just Elijah.
It's a really low bar.
But it's also, I wouldn't trust him in a room with you, and he wouldn't trust me in a room with his wife, and he won't bring her here because of that. And I'm like, that's a really interesting dynamic to have when you've got.
He did ask for sanctuary for her because he thought he was going insane.
Yeah.
But I think that sanctuary, though, would have a completely different political weight to it, to the point where if you pass that, you actually can't attack them for, without blighting your own honor and all, like, those things that they won't cross, the very few things.
As I say, with sanctuary, there are strings attached rather than coming in voluntarily. Like, it's different.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. And I think also the different status of the different consorts for the different archangels as well. So those who are considered actual partners versus those who are considered actual consorts who are in the background.
And it even said in this one that the consorts have always been considered off limits, but that hasn't been extended to Elena. And even with the understanding that Hannah has always been off limits, he still hasn't trusted anybody with her safety.
Yeah.
Even when he's around.
Yeah. And you could argue that Elena to the rest of them is a completely separate case, because she wasn't an angel. She wasn't born an angel. She was made an angel. So they don't know how to take her. They don't know what she's going to be capable of.
Though. You would kind of think, especially since they can't go around making angels willy-nilly.
I was going to say, I think she would almost be more protected because of that. But
and also, like, you don't have to be afraid of the precedent set, because it's not like, okay, well, now we can just all make as many angels as we want, and this is a new way to gain power or game the system or whatever, because that's not how it is. So I don't see why. I think it's a plot hole.
Which part of me makes, like, I wonder then if it's them recognizing that times are changing. Like, archangels are doing weird things. There's been an angel that's been made there are ancient archangels waking up, beings who've been asleep for longer, or for a longer period than most of existence has been around, most of humanity has been around. So like the whole concept is unsettled from the very start. So you're throwing another thing on the fire. But yes, you would expect people would
factor.
Yeah. You would hope that people would go, hang on, we need to be more cautious and we need to be more protective and we need to be more open to learning about this. But if you're in the middle of everything changing, then that's a really hard thing to do.
Well, it's also to me though, like they're not bored. They're all dealing with a lot of stuff. So shouldn't they be ignoring her existence? I think that makes sense that she might have a relative, stretch of peace because everybody's busy.
Yeah, you would hope so, but
she just keeps throwing herself in the fire, so it's partially her fault.
Oh, she's not one for staying out of the limelight.
She does
even
not
if it's unintentional.
Do not insult her by giving her a bodyguard. Flying 1,000 feet above her head. That is too invasive. Personal space.
Yeah. Well, let's face it, she's got enough to deal with the fact that the human world knows that she's been made into an angel and they're on her case the whole time.
And also, she has so many interpersonal issues. Anyways, it's like, how many things are you going to deal with in a day? Let's slow down somewhere.
Girl needs a secretary to deal with all of that.
Yep.
I don't know if it was fair of me or not, but her flashbacks have been really annoying me. I get that it's like because she's recently remembered her memories that they are so fresh and, she's being triggered a lot. She's being triggered by a lot of different crime scenes and stuff. And I don't know if it's the way it's written that's bothering me or what, but it just kind of feels like either she needs to get out of the line of fire or she needs to go to therapy or she needs to be more healed. Like one of these things,
needs to happen.
I don't want to be every single crime scene. It's like, all right, don't think about that. Which again, like in real life, especially completely valid. You can be triggered, constantly. It's not like, well, you should be healed by now or something like that. It's not that at all. It's just in the book. I'm a little bit like, I don't want to do how many books are we going to do this constantly without any healing?
Yeah.
But honestly, just everything about her was annoying me, so it's not really fair. It's not really.
Well, let's face it. How many romance books do we read where we walk away from it going, and everybody in this book needs to be in therapy?
That's fair.
Right.
Like,
and also,
everyone's got things that they're dealing with. Everyone needs someone to talk to get it off their chest, so that it's not just sitting in your brain. Because of course, it's going to drive you nuts. Of course, you're going to be triggered by things if you are not able to actually articulate and share that with people. And I think the worst thing for Elena is that all of those were suppressed until basically her mind was blown wide open. And now suddenly, in situations where previously she might have been at the scene of a violent crime, and it wouldn't have been as triggering for her.
Right. I agree.
Nowadays.
I don't think this has been happening her entire career because that doesn't make a lot of sense.
But yeah. But it is happening a lot particularly in the last two books.
It's actively happening this entire time.
Yeah. So I get that. I mean, and I'm not the biggest fan of flashbacks in general, unless it's serving a really specific purpose. And I think maybe if this book was written today, it would be handled in a slightly different way, or it would be one sequence of remembering,
right?
And then the unpacking would happen afterwards. Whereas we get them scattered throughout it.
It annoyed me a little bit in the second book, right? Just kind of because I didn't want to be seeing those things, to be honest.
Yeah.
But then in the second book, you kind of have a reason of why it makes sense that we are supposed to really hate this guy. felt like it was dragged. And again, I do think some of that is just when it was written, she probably didn't know what all she was planning, all that stuff. But everything about them, though, felt very, very repetitive. And then I liked the politics and stuff. But I think my main issue continues to be I don't feel really attached to the characters. I'm not super into the conversations between the characters. Like, I don't feel like it's like really helping me build rapport. It feels to me like, oh, there's the best friend. She's the bestie. We love her. She would do anything for us. Don't you love her too? Okay, let's move on. Like, it really just feels like they're inserted to me rather than like with Alona Andrews, where I'm like, I would die for you, random side character. I would die for you.
Yeah. And I mean, Alona Andrews, I think, will always be the epitome of how do you write side characters who you might only read for a couple of pages per book,
Right.
and make them characters you are deeply invested in. There are not very many authors who can do that.
No,
And
which is why we
like,
constantly bring up Alona Andrews.
Yeah. But I also don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because I think
Sure.
I mean, I know they're very, very popular, but I also think generally speaking across the board, they're criminally underrated in terms of their writing style. And it's not a slight on any other author that they're not able to do that same thing, because different authors have different things that they do really, really well. But yeah, I think if you are brought up on Alona Andrews, or that's something that if you've read all of their books, then you will always compare anything like that to their books because you've seen it done in a particular way.
I think also,
but, you know, Alona Andrews stan, but also I have read just about everything that Nalini Singh has written across contemporary paranormal and her crime thriller fiction, although I need to read a bit more of that. But you can kind of see the interest that Nalini Singh has across her writing. And the thing that I think Nalini Singh does really, really well is that all of her characters always have all of the characters across her books have come from a wide variety of backgrounds. Like, she's never tried to have just your plain straight white characters across her books. Like, she brings in a lot of different ethnicities into her stories, into her books, and for that, I think there's not many people who do that very well either, without making it like here, I'm going to shove all of these characters in here just so you can say that I've got representation.
Diversity.
They're bronze.
Yeah, and she was doing that before it was the thing to do.
Yeah.
So
also, I think a lot of it is just I am probably too much of a character-driven reader. You know, like it's the piece that makes or breaks it for me. I can have and I know you guys are the same to a certain extent, but I can have characters do absolutely nothing for 600 pages and I don't care. We're in the kitchen, we're making spaghetti, we're going to the football game, you know, like, great, happy to be here. Keep going, actually. Whereas like this, obviously, the point of it is very different. And I need to really like the characters to care.
Which I think is interesting, because you enjoyed the first book. So I'm curious to see how you do go with the next book with the new couple, because by virtue of starting a new couple, you have to build that couple up in some capacity.
Right.
And interestingly enough, and you and I have talked about this, Heather. I know you're not continuing in the Guild Hunters in the Psy Changeling series, but I think the further you get in that series, the more time you actually have just with characters. Particularly, I think in the Psy Trinity series, I think it's very character driven with the world, with the larger world plot. But I would never say to go and pick up that series, because I feel like the value later on,
without the context of the first series, Trinity hits different. So I think it's important to have all of the context.
Yeah. Which is why I would, if someone says, I don't feel like yes, you could start at Silver Silence. So you could absolutely start there, but I think you missed something. But it wouldn't be worth reading an entire series just to get to that if that's not your thing.
Right. Especially for me, who will quit. We all know we'll quit.
Yep.
But yeah. But I mean, that's the thing. Not every book, not every series is for every reader. And it doesn't matter if it's a genre that you are a fan of or an author that you're a fan of. There have been plenty of books just this year that I've gone, nope. And that's an author that I've loved, or it's a genre I love, or it's whatever.
Same.
If it's not working, it's not working. And there's always something else to read.
Another mediocre book is on the horizon.
We all read our share. We all end up with our favorite authors that are different. Like a lot of people don't love Regina Abel, but she dropped another book at midnight last night. So guess what I'm doing?
I saw that
after I eat my dinner.
Congratulations!
And I've been waiting for this book. Basically,
as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I feel like I should send it to Shay, but I know that Shay will see it as soon as she wakes
I saw it
up.
as soon as I woke up.
Yeah.
I needed a palate cleanser, so I started a Kristen Ashley book. So like, I get it.
Well, I love me a Kristen Ashley every so often. I actually have a couple banked to read relatively soon. So,
Heather will know because I'm doing a try chapter video. Mine is Christmas themed because I didn't really have any other holiday romances that weren't Halloween related romances
too.
So spoiler alert for anyone who watches those videos. I think I tried a chapter of about 11 or 12 books, and one was not a Christmas book. I just didn't read the synopsis for it properly, but I have gotten rid of DNF'd 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So
Sunday,
that's been a fun experience this morning.
The rest of that stack, we're doing try chapters.
Heck yeah.
I have eliminated so many books by doing that. I'm tempted to get another stack off my current TBR shelf of things I'm still kind of meh on and do it again. We'll see.
The Elf on the Edge.
I have not heard of that one. Try chapters are fabulous.
For my try chapter, I have read 2 chapters. I have immediately quit one book, and then I read the other one and gave it 5 stars. So
nice.
That's where I'm at.
Hang on, I'm just having to look up. The Elf on the Edge. That's 573 pages.
What? Oh, is that the Advent one where you're supposed to read a chapter a day? Is it that one?
What?
Huh?
Have you guys not heard about this?
No.
It is a Christmas Advent romance book where you're supposed to read a chapter a day leading up to Christmas from like the first day. I do not
know how to feel about this.
No.
I swear we talked about it in our group chat at one point. Maybe not. I thought we had.
Just went with Izzy and May.
I'm in too many group chats, and Steph hit the wrong button.
Bye, leader.
Our fearless leader.
Our fearless leader.
Gone, but not forgotten.
Sorry, guys.
I didn't click again, baby.
Sorry.
Oh, good.
This is going great. We've totally been doing this for many years. We are professionals.
We sure are.
Yeah, that's the one I was looking at. I don't know if I could do a 500 plus page book in the lead up to December. We'll see.
I don't know how long the chapters are, but it has 25 chapters from what I understand.
Okay. That seems like a lot.
And the goal is only a chapter a day.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm not doing it, but
I am not a person.
I need someone else to do this so I can live vicariously through them. That's what I need.
Yeah.
If I have to start and stop constantly, I'm just not going to finish the book.
Right, exactly. I'm either going to dread reading it every day or it's going to be good and I'm going to read it in one day.
Yep.
That's how that works.
Yes. No. I actually don't have that much now that we've totally derailed and are just chatting about books, because why not? Let's just keep going. I don't know what I am planning on reading in December aside from my buzzword book prompts, and that's about it. Like, that's literally my TBR for the upcoming month.
My TBR for December is books that I'm looking forward to that are releasing in December. I don't have my hands on yet.
Actually, sorry, no, I lie. There is there's a sapphic monster romance holiday series on KU.
Ooh, fun.
Ooh.
That's like 4. Is this the one? Oh no, hang on. Looking at the wrong one. Sorry. They're novellas, and there is 5 of them. Oh, it's called Les the Halls.
I love this.
And there is a sapphic
amazing.
dragon shifter, a sapphic reindeer shifter. There's one that's the Yuletide Fairies Curse, a dragon rider, and there's the last one's an Omegaverse one.
Interesting.
And they're all novella length, and I'm like, that would be a fun reading blog, just to read all
That
of
would be.
those. And they're authors I've never heard of. So,
Hey friends, Shay here.
I just heard
Yes,
"Hey
they
friend
will.
Shay" here.
Maybe. Not on purpose.
Anyway,
Is everything that I have.
Why are we listening?
I was going through my 10 books I want to read before the end of the year and see which ones I've read and which ones I haven't
she
so
had
far.
play.
I accidentally hit play instead of the scroll by because I've already read a few of them.
That's good.
I still need to finish Gravity though.
Yes.
I know I'm gonna love it, and I just need to end the year on a win. So
I'll be listening
I'm kind
to
of banking it for that.
Amen.
I will be listening to Mistletoe Murders and maybe trying to read through that Friendship Rhode Island Kate Canterbury series, since apparently book 3 is coming out in December.
I still need to read book 2. That's on my Kindle as well.
I will be, well, if I have any sense of self-restraint, I will save it for after work finishes for the year. But I will highly likely, marathon read it at some point before school finishes.
Oh, and then I checked out, was it Lilith by Alexandria House? Yes. And that I need to read that too. Lilith by Alexandria House.
Izzy read that one, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I checked it out and then forgot, so I need to read it.
On the subject of end of year TBRs, do what you need to do. Don't worry so much about things, because I feel like people put too much pressure on themselves at this time of year.
Mine's so casual. Like I'm not gonna read them all, and that's fine.
Yeah.
These are just like in an ideal world, these are the ones I'd focus on. The only ones that will probably happen other than Gravity are the silly little cowboy romances.
Good.
And that's fine. I have zero regrets. My work is already entering chaos mode because that's why I was late. I was dealing with a work emergency situation. And yeah. So I'm just going to do the things that are good to me.
Yeah. Retail at Christmas time is thrilling. I've
especially when people don't tell you you're out of something or getting low on something, and you're only one person, so you can't always do everything.
Yeah. I will also probably be catching up on the Windbreaker manga because I'm obsessed. So I watched both seasons, went, I need more of this, and then promptly started reading from the beginning. And now I am like 5 to 8 from the end. I think I just finished volume 14.
Nice.
And it's still ongoing, but currently I think there's only 20 out in English, ?
I think.
Because apparently there's 23 in Japan.
Okay. Nice. Well, I just want people to read things that make them happy. I keep watching things where people are reading things that are not making them happy, and I'm like, why?
I want to read things that are making me happy.
I know you do.
We know that you do, Heather, and it's not that
I
you
wish
don't try.
the
How's
reading
Emily
universe was cooperating with me better.
How is Emily Wilde going for you?
I finished it. I loved it, actually.
Good.
For
Oh,
me,
yay.
I just really, really liked the writing. It like
Mm.
perfectly fell into what I really enjoy in that. I wasn't sure how I would feel about the journal entries, but honestly, that didn't bother me at all. It was very non-invasive. It wasn't really that big of a deal, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I've read some that are like much more so.
Mm.
It's
The whole
a journal entry, you
if
know.
if you like book one, I think you'll like the rest of them because they're all very similar. It's just telling the story.
It's not that the story was like especially unique or that I even like absolutely adored the characters or anything. It just really worked for me.
It was a fun, silly,
Good.
good time. And that's all it
was,
needed to
it
be.
was so easy to read. Like I was happy to be picking it up and just sitting there and reading. And sometimes that's the win.
Yeah.
Right there.
Well, I'm glad. There you go. That's a win. You like that.
Yay.
That is a win.
I loved it. It's my second 5-star of the month, and they've been 2 out of my last 3 books. So
Good.
Go me.
Excellent. Yeah.
So when you all
You're
see my
hitting your
video
groove,
tomorrow,
you're hitting
you
your
don't
stride.
have to...
Did you read the last Jasad book already?
No. As a matter of fact, I haven't even had it on my TBR. I saw
Heather.
reviews that I was like...
Heather.
It's a true
That
story.
should be a win for you. That's what you should read.
We'll see.
Alrighty. Well, on that note, we've hit an hour. We've talked about our book. We've talked about our upcoming TBRs.
And I am ADHDing, fiddling with my desk. So
I was told that my dinner is ready, so
we need
perfect.
We will not be doing a live show in December. We're going to let everyone have December and the chaos that potentially brings for everyone. And we'll try and do something in January, mostly because it'll fall just before I go back to work. So, that will be the next book that we read, and I will do a post somewhere. I promise. I was much better about actually posting about it on social media this weekend.
Well, you always schedule it a few days ahead, so
yeah. But thanks for joining us in the chat. Thanks for the chat and the comments, and for joining us. And we will see you next time. So have a great night or a great day wherever you are. Bye, everyone.